Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to a different part of the show here tonight. I know I don't have my tie on. I was just telling my guests that we're going to talk to you in a minute. I feel kind of weird not having the tie on, but I am a part of this group, and I'm very proud to be a part of this group that we're going to talk to you about. We did one about a month ago. We're going to talk about the 999th Legion for Child Rights, the Sarnia chapter, and what is that all about? Well, we're going to remind you once again, and we've got a special event coming up on April the 24th that we're going to talk about as well. But first of all, I want to introduce you to my guests. I'm going to take you over to our commander, Christopher Holbrook. How are you, Christopher?
Good, David. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Let's just, for those who maybe didn't see us before and are just seeing us for the first time here tonight, tell everybody what the 999th is and what's your job as commander.
So the 999th Legion for Child Rights, we're a nonprofit organization that was started in Hamilton by Kevin and Wendy Ellis. And we're a group of volunteers that support children and youth within the community that have been or are victim of bullying and child abuse.
Right.
And as far as my role as commander, I'm head over the executive. So, you know, the executive team meets once a month. We go over, you know, we look at what's going on, what we need to do, next steps involved. We do use a voting process to bring things to light. And really, if a vote's tied, I'm the tiebreaker. I have the final decision in what happens.
You try to keep order sometimes, I think, too, Chris.
Well, I try.
All right, great. Well, now let's take you over to Jaylene Henry, who is you handle all the money.
Unfortunately, yeah. I am the treasurer for the group. I'm part of the executive.
Yes. One of the original 8, right? I guess all of us that are here, and I'm here as well. Happy to be a part. You've heard me bragging about the group for some time now. I'm the road captain for the 999th. So everybody's got a title, and as a team working together, we're looking to do some great things in our community. Jaylene, you heard Christopher's kind of explanation of what we as a group are looking to do. Do you want to expand on that as far as the connections that we're trying to make?
Sure, yeah. We're hoping that over the next couple months that we can kind of meet up with some of the organizations in town, maybe some of the schools, just to educate people on who we are, why we're here, and what our purpose is, and really start to build those relationships with people. It'd also be really nice to kind of get it out there to some families as well if they're looking for some extra support and kind of where we can help and guide them from there. So it'd be nice to get the word out about that as well.
Yeah, I guess the simple way of putting it is we want to be connectors in our community to people who are maybe struggling with. Well, let's elaborate a little bit more there, Christopher. Back to you on. We're talking about children's rights, but what does that entail? We're talking about bullying. I think obviously comes into that. But what about the bullies?
Well, we support both sides. You know, the one thing with so a lot of us on the team are child and youth care practitioners, and you know, one thing we're taught right off the bat is that every behavior is communication of an unmet need, right? So if there's bullying going on, you know, there's a need on the one being bullied, as far as feeling safe, and you know, dealing with what comes with being bullied. But as far, you know, when it comes to the bullies themselves, that behavior isn't just coming out of the blue. There's a reason for that behavior, and it really is about finding the supports to deal with that and find that unmet need and find ways to meet that need.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I know that first attracted me to be a part of this group was first of all, those of you that are involved, I know there's others that aren't here tonight, but everybody's involved in this group is somehow connected to the community and has some background in this type of thing. That being said, we're not putting ourselves out there as we the counselors, but Jaylene, do you want to speak to that a little bit as far as your background and everybody else's background on the group?
Sure. I'm personally a child and youth care and practitioner as well. And that holds true for 3 of us in the group. But we also have Orla, who is our educational liaison, and she works in the school board. And then we have Jim Miner, who is the, I'm going to say his title wrong, probably, Chris. He's the executive director, but the co-founder of Life Seasons.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so he's connected that way in the community. And then yourself, of course, everyone knows how you're connected in the community in different ways. So we're all definitely connected in different ways, and we all have that common goal, is that we want to help children and youth in our community.
Yeah. Well put, Jaylene. There is a bonus to all of this, though, folks, for you watching. We ride motorcycles, too. We like to ride our 2 wheels. And before I kind of move into some other things that we're going to be doing, I want to kind of make it clear there's always that term of motorcycle club, right? So the 999th Legion Sarnia and the chapter, the head chapter in Hamilton, we are not a motorcycle club. We are a group organization of people who want to put out and support children's rights and offer support that we can and help families get connected to supports in our community. We just happen to like riding motorcycles too, and we kind of brought that into how, we can, there's a connection there. I think, who doesn't like a motorcycle, right, Chris?
Exactly.
I think there's just a, like I said, I think there's just a bonus to all of that. But can you maybe expand a little bit on some of the things, tell everybody what we as a group might do to support some children and youth and their families as well.
That to me, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what we do is when we support children and youth, we want to get them connected to different programs and services within the community that they could benefit from. So that could be youth programs within an agency. If it's deemed that organized sports would be beneficial for the youth. If it's counseling services needed, if the youth needs school supplies, anything like that, that is where we can come in and help support them. So it's all about getting to know each child and youth that we support, getting to know them and realizing what would be beneficial for them, and then looking at all the options within the community that can help.
Very good. Jaylene, I want to come back over to you as well. Did you I want to add anything to that before I have the next question to you?
Yeah, sorry, I was going to unmute myself. I just wanted to add that something special and unique that we can bring to the table as well is that sometimes if some of those children are needing supports within the school system, and that's where they feel most unsafe, we can do support rides. Yeah. So a family or an organization, but ultimately we'd speak with the family, might contact Chris or my husband, Dwayne, have a conversation with them, see what the needs are. If this is something that will be supportive and helpful for the youth and the family, then arranging a ride on our motorcycles to pick the child up from school might be something that we participate in, and not for intimidation, but to show the child and everyone else at the school that they are loved and supported, and that there are people who care about them. And then once we drive the child back to their house, the family is always a part of that as well. We continue to support them beyond that. It's not just the one ride, but that is one unique aspect that we bring to the table.
Yeah, no, you make a good point in all of that. And I think, I think it's the visibility of, like you said, someone is being loved and cared about. And, Chris had mentioned too that, we don't just support the one side of it, we support the bully as well, but, in a loving, caring way that hopefully maybe that helps them see the light, so to speak, I guess, on one side of that coin, right? But Jaylene, this takes a little bit of money, and you being the money girl in the group, we need donations, etc. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So Chris mentioned earlier that we're all a group of volunteers with a common goal. So we have operated solely on our personal income or donations to start off from scratch for the last year or so. So we are always looking for donations from anyone in the community who wants to help. And 100% of the donations goes right back into the children. We don't take any profit from any of that.
Yep.
And another part of that as well, we do have some t-shirts. Everyone can show their nice t-shirts here.
All that, and got the t-shirt too.
That we are selling as well. And that money was donated from members to purchase those t-shirts. So 100% of those sales goes right back into helping the children as well. And those are available on our website. And there's also a donate button on our website as well. So any small amount, any denomination helps, and that can help us function and help children in our community get their needs met.
Yeah, fantastic. And as Jaylene kind of mentioned there, you can buy the t-shirts. They're $20. We've got still got some left. We're going to be getting more, but we want to get rid of the ones that we got. They're $20. You can go online to our website, or if you want to email somebody here, it usually goes to Chris and to find out more information. Or if you just want to find out more about the 999th. And one of the things that we're doing to create the awareness I'm really excited for is we're going to have our first, I guess, awareness ride as part of the 999th. And we're doing that coming up on April the 24th. And that's going to start at Oswald's Diner here in Sarnia. And thank you. Shout out to our friends, Art and Karen at Oswald's Diner, who've been supporting us and are going to help us with several things down the road. But we'll be starting there. There's no registration fee. You do not have to sign up in advance. There's no cost. I will say, though, that day, if you come out on your two wheels and you want to go for the ride with us, if you want to donate, there will be a hat that we'll be passing around, and we would certainly welcome that. So we'll be gathering and collecting starting at 11:30, and then kickstands go up at 1 o'clock. We will be that day giving everybody a route, but I can just tell you it's going to be a nice, simple ride throughout the city, probably down Molden Road through Michigan to Point Edward, and a nice little scenic road, and just to show everybody that we are here and we want to reach out to the community, and we want to offer our, honestly, love and support to support children and their families in the community. That being said, again, we're just looking to connect. We just want to be another part of the tree branch, I guess is a good way to put it. There are a lot of services in our community, but sometimes having an alternative to get connected to those services can help as well. I know that Jaylene, I know I appreciate you being here because I know you're carrying child, and you might not be able to come with us on the ride, but you might come along for a ride in the car.
Maybe, yeah. 1 month from today, and our newest little riding member is coming. So I don't think I'll be able to make it on the 24th, but you bet whatever ride we do after that, I will be on.
We'll be thinking about you for sure, but we totally understand. I want to say to everybody who's watching as well that this is open to the public. You're welcome to come and join us for the ride. In fact, we would love to have a whole bunch of bikes joining us and revving things up to get the attention that the 999th Legion for Child Rights in Sarnia needs your support to get the word out there. Christopher, this is talk about how this first came to Sarnia, the Hamilton chapter, and how this came about here.
Yeah, for sure. So about 4 or 5 years ago, I came across the Hamilton chapter, the 999th Legion for Child Rights, on Facebook. And, that's when I started following what they were doing. And I thought it was neat. I thought it was great. And then when I went back to school to become a child and youth care practitioner, that's when I really started thinking that this would be great in Sarnia, that Sarnia could use a program like this. So not this past Christmas, or Christmas before, I got together with my brother-in-law for family Christmas. And, that was before COVID when we were allowed to get together. And we got talking about what the 999th Legion did in Hamilton. And so we had a conversation about that and thought it'd be a great thing to bring to Sarnia. And so we decided we were just gonna reach out to Hamilton and see what it would take to bring a chapter to Sarnia. So that's really what got it going, was just a conversation in my brother-in-law's living room. So
right.
We reached out to Hamilton. They thought it would be a great idea too. However, there was, like I said in the last interview we did, there was hoops to jump through. It wasn't a extremely easy process. It wasn't just a matter of them handing over a chapter. We had
right.
to get we had to prove that we were qualified to do this, and that we were doing it for the right reasons. We had to get vulnerable sector checks, reference letters from community members, things like that. So, but we jumped through the hoops, and now we're here.
Yeah. Jaylene, I know that, obviously with your background, there was a part of this that would have attracted to you, but can you kind of expand on what was it about the 999th that you and your husband, Dwayne, said, got to be a part of that?
Well, I think it was Michelle gave me a call one night and said that she had something she wanted to propose to us to do. And Michelle and my relationship goes back a couple of years when she was my prof in 2014 when I graduated. But anything, she knows me, anything that has to do with helping and supporting children and youth in our community, and I probably won't say no. I'm very much involved in our community and supporting those children and youth in various jobs I've had, as well as lots of volunteer work. So that was something that automatically pulled me in. And then she said, hey, we also ride our motorcycles. So my husband and I both ride. We both have our own bikes. So that drew me in as well. And besides him doing anything I want him to do, sorry when you watch this back, Dwayne, but he is also wanting to get more involved in our community and meet people because he's not originally from here. So right. This was something that kind of drew him in as well. And supporting children and youth, obviously, because it's a love of mine, he supports that fully, and something that is also near and dear to him as well because of that. So it was something that drew us in right away.
Yeah, fantastic. And like you say, and we ride motorcycles too. What a bonus. I get to ride my motorcycle more. That's great. Yeah. I think, for me, obviously the attraction was, very community oriented, but one of the things I know, because we've all talked as a group before about what makes us unique. I mean, there are a lot of organizations, it's St. Clair Child and Youth, Sarnia Lambton Rebound, the list goes on of availability for people, but hard to believe that not everybody knows about all of those. And maybe it's one of us that, will feel like there's a connection thing that happens there. I keep saying that word connection, that, we can sort of maybe get down on one bended knee and talk to somebody who's having some struggles with a bully, or even we talk about the children, but Jaylene, it's really the moms and dads or the families that are involved. They really need the support too, right?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, nothing's really going to change overnight if you're just speaking to a child or youth. You really need the whole family and the whole support system on board for positive change to occur. So getting everyone involved and working with the family as a whole is really in the best interest of the child and the family. And whether that's coming from either side, from a child who feels hurt at school or the child who might be hurting someone at school, right, verbally or otherwise. But regardless, like Chris said earlier, like there's a reason that they're doing it, and we understand that. And if we can help build that relationship with them and know that they have some people who care about them, who can come out in the community and work with them, and then relate to those other services, if that's what their needs are, then I think that that's something unique and helpful that we bring to the community.
Yeah. And, it's, and Jaylene, I know you mentioned earlier as well, and I think, Chris, you kind of alluded to it as well, that, we're not here to pull up on the motorcycles and rev things up and intimidate anybody. We just want to, it's just part of what we do, but we want to let people know that we're here to help. And I keep coming back to the connections and the relationships that can be created out of that. And we need your help with all of this. That's one of the reasons that we're having the awareness ride on April the 24th. Again, we'll be leaving from Oswald's Diner. We'll start collecting there about 11:30, and then kickstands will get up at 1 o'clock, and we'll take a nice drive through the city. And I think we're doing this, of course, with all protocols. Who knows where we'll be April 24th? I think we'll be in a better place, but we will be following all the, COVID-19 guidelines, and of course the Highway Traffic Act and all that stuff. And I think that was another thing for me that really attracted me to be a part of it. I like to be involved in a lot of things, so I'm particular. And it was the fact that members, like we all had to be vetted. We all had to go through an interview process. We all had to have the vulnerable sector check with our Sarnia police. And it's not just a local group saying, hey, let's do this thing, right? There's some organization to it, right, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. The vetting of members and the vulnerable sector check is to ensure that the children and youth that we work with are safe at all times. We want to make sure that anybody joining the chapter and becoming a member is suited for this and is able to work around the children and youth safely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we've got lots that we could talk about. We're going to be planning some more events coming up in our community, but we're going to save that for another day. We want to get your attention and get you out on April the 24th if you're riding two wheels. And follow along, join our group. Let me see, I'm self-producing here. There we go. We got it up there. Go over to our group, join the group if you want to find out more. And maybe you want to be a part of what we're doing as well. And there's a process for that, as I mentioned. But please, if you can, join us on April the 24th at Oswald's Diner. We'll be posting it again on our Facebook. And one of the things that you can do to help us spread the awareness of the 999th Legion for Child Rights in Sarnia, I see some people clicking the like button and the love button, and that's awesome. But the one button that I would really ask you to click on is that share button. That share button is the most important thing that you who are watching right now can do to help us spread the word about the 999th Legion for Child Rights here in Sarnia. So I thank all of you for watching. And just before we go, I always like to come back. Chris, do you have anything you want to add before I let you go?
So like we said earlier, one of our main things we want to do is get connected with the different agencies within the community. So I have actually drafted up a letter that I want to send out to all the agencies. That should be going out within the next week. So if anybody out there is part of an agency that would like more information or to get involved, feel free to reach out to our email, or there is a contact form on our website as well.
Okay, perfect. Jaylene, I'll come back to you one more time.
I'm just really excited. Even though I can't be there on the 24th, I really, really hope that our group of people sees everyone out there for our first ride, and you're out there supporting us. And I just hope that everyone has a lot of fun.
Awesome. Christopher, Jaylene, thank you both for being here. And everybody who's watching, thank you. And once again, I will reach out to you. Click the share button, help us spread it around and get some awareness for the 999th Legion for Child Rights. If you want to give some financial support, there's the website. We just launched the website, so we're growing already, and we're looking to get out in the community and make a difference in people's lives. I thank you all once again for being here, both of you and everybody for watching. I'm your host, David Burrows. Until next time, take care.